Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are in the world. It's Sean Hewitt here on another big interview, and this time I am joined by Jeffrey Delwiche. Jeff is somebody who I've got to know very well through our networking scene, and so much so that Jeff has now become an integral part of the Trusted Business Community Association as one of our trusted ambassadors. And I'm sure he'll talk a little bit more about that. But just to give you a little bit of information for those listening in on our YouTube channel and wherever this is being shared across the social medias, he creates content that makes you look and feel good. His communication and conversation is what it's all about. He's self-motivated, he's proven technical communication skills, and he's passionate about writing, editing and e-commerce and social media. He's knowledgeable and proficient also in SEO, works proficiently in team settings and also on an individual basis, and is available for the opportunities to work with him, whether that be in a role where you are looking for his services ad hocly or on a long-term project with him as well. Jeff, it's wonderful to have you with me on the big interview. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Sean. Great to be here. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. I've been looking forward to this one all day, I must admit, having booked this in with you just last week. So, for those listening in on the YouTube channel and or whether they're listening in on one of the social media channels where this is getting posted, I'd love to get those listening in the opportunity to get a little bit more knowledge about who Jeff is, because I've got to know you, Jeff, over a number of months, but obviously some of the people listening would not have heard of you or may not have come across you just yet. So perhaps you could give us a little bit of a backstory, who you are, what's led you to where you are at. Give us a bit of a meat round the bone, as they say.
Sure, absolutely. Well, the intro that you gave me checked, I would say, most of the key boxes. I am, in fact, a content marketer. I am in transition. I'm very creative, I would say, and tech savvy. I love to write, edit, design images, edit videos, search engine optimize, etc. So the nerdy stuff, the creativity stuff, it's what I enjoy doing and it's what I believe I'm good at. I am located in the United States, in the state of Wisconsin. Like I said, in transition, been picking up the occasional, contract marketing role here and there, but ideally looking to connect with an organization in a permanent role eventually. In the meantime, I've really enjoyed being a USA ambassador for the Trusted Business Community Association. It's been quite a pleasure.
So taking us back a little bit further then, Jeff, obviously you got into this, and you call it the nerdy role, and I love the way you always say that, because you say that so often in when we're all meeting up. But it's not, it's such an important role, isn't it, for people's communication, to make sure everything is correct. What got you into, what was the thing that triggered that interest in the roles that you perform for others?
Sure. So I was actually, wasn't until I was 29 years old, so many years ago, that I discovered my passion for content, for writing, for creating content intended to market for products and services. Honestly, Sean, a lot of failure, a lot of attempts to cram a square peg into a round hole. I tried working in retail settings as a manager. That was incredibly challenging. Tried inside sales. That was not for me. So essentially, all these, dare I say, odd jobs, odd roles that I did not enjoy, and success was maybe moderate at best. Most days it was kind of fake it till you make it, and that's just no way. That's not a great way to live life. We are at work more often than we're not, pretty much, if you think
Sure.
about it, as at
Mm.
least during hours that we're awake on this earth. So if you're not passionate about it, if you're not enjoying about it, it's going to slowly but surely kind of eat away at your soul and your psyche. So a lot of
Mm.
failure, a lot of, I guess, emotional stress, a lot of disappointment. Finally, that light bulb went off in my late 20s. You know what? I'm not a bad writer. Maybe I can take this a step further and a step further beyond that, etc.
So the passion came from you mentioned lots of round peg square holes and those challenges that you've identified as having gone through it and then felt that there was a failure to actually grasp the opportunity that was in front of you because it didn't fit. It didn't fit you. It wasn't your passion. It wasn't what you wanted. But each of those challenges has obviously strengthened your inner core and obviously given you that fighting spirit to come back and do something that you really enjoy.
I believe so. I think that's very accurate. Had I landed right into my dream role, like right out of college in my early 20s, maybe I wouldn't appreciate it as much. I'm actually grateful for the failure, for the mistakes, for the trials and tribulations, if you will. Yes, to your point, it may have taken me a little while, but I'm that much more passionate about it, that much more appreciative of it, and I work that much harder at it. I'm never content to create mediocre content. I have high expectations of myself for my content, and again, since the passion is there, that passion is reflected through what I believe is a strong product each and every time.
Really important point there as well, I think, is about your passion, and I see your passion every time we meet up. I mean, on a Friday morning for us, it's halfway through the night for you, but you're often in there at way before the crack of dawn for you, turning up to our meetings, ready to go, ready to contribute to the meeting as well, which shows how passionate you are as an individual and the commitment that you've got that to anything that you lay your hands on, which I think is a massive plus for anybody listening in who's looking for somebody who can help with their content and looking to employ someone. I think that shows the character of who you are because of the passion and the amount of effort that you will go to beyond what is considered normal. I mean, I don't consider 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning to be a normal time to network, but it's apparent that you do because you see the value of when you're coming into the meetings. But at the same time, it's showing more about you being as passionate as you are. And I think if someone's listening in who's looking for a content manager, a content marketer, there's one very, very strong reason why they should be getting in touch with you because, you don't do anything by halves, do you, Jeff?
I really don't. Maybe it's a blessing and a curse. I hear perfectionism is a losing battle, but there's something to be said about me leaving something on the table. If I know I can do better, I push myself to do better. So, a blessing and a curse. Real quick regarding the Friday coffee drop-ins, it says something about the community, the energy that comes from those through the Trusted Business Community Association. Anyone can hop on a Zoom call anytime. They're ubiquitous these days. But what you guys have going every Friday morning by me, there's something kind of fun about having my coffee halfway done while it's still dark out and kicking off my Friday with you guys. So it speaks volumes about the energy, the community.
Thank you so much for that lovely endorsement as well as the drop-in event. And as I say, quite happily to repeat that it shows who you are by being so up for being up at the at the unearthly hour that you join us over there in Wisconsin. And when you look at you mentioned obviously you're pushing yourself. You've had these failures. I think that makes the man, and we cannot. Nothing in life is going to fall on your lap this day and age. You have to work at it. And those failures, as you call them, I call them learning curves because I don't like the word failure, or challenges. Those challenges that haven't quite worked strengthened your inner core, inner strength, and brought you back fighting for that excellence that you look for. And I think anyone listening in to this interview would be well advised to pick up the opportunity to connect with you, because whether that be through your socials or whether that be directly or through us here at the association, because I think that shows commitment. It shows the fact that you're not here for the 5 minute opportunity. You're here for the duration, and you want to help others be successful with the skill set that you can offer them. And as a small business owner, if I was looking to employ somebody to do the work that you do, if I was in the shoes of somebody listening in, I would certainly be wanting to make that phone call and or making contact with you. I think it's a vital opportunity for those business owners listening into this, that you could be the answer to their prayers quite easily. So let's bring it up to date with your work. You've been working on projects and you've been doing some ad hoc work, but focusing in on the employed route, which is absolutely fantastic, and thanks for explaining that. In the meantime, whilst that was all going on, you became the USA ambassador for us. And that in itself was, I think, shows an accolade to you, because we saw in you the man that we knew was the voice for us in the USA. And so how's that been going? What's been what have you enjoyed about being part of that? But also, you're now doing all this work. You've talked a little bit about the work that you do and the skill set that you've got. So let's talk a little bit about the ambassadorship to bring it up to speed. You've been now an ambassador with us for a few months. You've been with us a few more months than that, obviously, because you joined us last year, and became a very integral part of our networking scene. So much so that we saw we saw you as that individual on the ground, if you like, in the USA, as someone who could really get our message out. And the fact that you wanted to deliver that message was sort of what made it hand in glove. What have you enjoyed about having you've got the same background as I have, it's nice to actually have somebody like you in the States giving out the good word and spreading the word of what's on offer here, because you've experienced it. Have you found things being an ambassador?
I'm really enjoying it. I'm grateful for the opportunity from you, from the entire community. Yes, we have matching backgrounds. This is the same background that's with me on every single Zoom call I'm in each week, which is probably at least a dozen. Being the ambassador, it's wonderful. It is a challenge. As much as I would love to bring in, droves of people from the U.S. to join the community overnight, I would absolutely love that. I suspect it's going to be more of a long game. I suspect, as much like with content is about cultivating community. I don't just share a post on LinkedIn and next day have, multiple conversions. It's a long game. It's an overtime type of process. That is how I anticipate this process going. The more people who see this background, the more people that I discuss the community with, the more people that I can get to join the LinkedIn group, maybe to attend some Zoom events. Try it out, see what they think. I do believe eventually there will be a positive domino effect. Might take a bit to get that first domino to fall, but once it does, I do believe more and more people will continue to see just how wonderful this community is and will be not just willing to join, but excited to join.
Thank you very much, and you're right. It's not something that is made overnight. It really isn't, because this is an opportunity for people, as you quite rightly know, and because you've been involved around us, to stand themselves out on a pedestal. It gives them the opportunity to have that badge of trust rubber stamping their service excellence. It also gives them the opportunity to stand out as one in a million rather than being one of a million. Because let's face it, in the industries, there's multiple services in all industry sectors. There's multiple companies in most of the sectors that are out there. If you've got one bricklayer, you've got millions of bricklayers. If you've got one website designer, you've got millions of website designers. But which one do you go to? And this is where we, as a community and as a small business association, can help them stand out from the crowd so that they can be showcased with that service excellence attached to them, so that the individuals that are using them feel more confident about, in fact, engaging with them and securing their services, because they've got this accreditation for customer service and excellence behind them. So yes, it does take a little bit of it's an educational process for a lot of people, because some people may go, oh, well, I've got a really good, working group. I'm getting regular work. I've heard that so many times, and then I've had people join me later and come back to me and say, by the way, can I join? It's gone a bit quiet. And this is the thing. We're always looking to continually support our members to make sure that the likes of you and us, myself and you and all the other ambassadors that represent the association, are there on hand to support those in membership. It's a big ask, the USA, isn't it? It's a big country by comparison to a little old United Kingdom. But I know we've got the right man for the job, because you are very much in line with our ethos and ethics, and I know we've got a great future together, working together to help the small business owners in the States become that 1 in a million as opposed to 1 of a million. And with you at the helm, I know it's going to be a success. But yeah, you're right. You can't just suddenly drop something and everything just comes at you. But it's about the content. It's about the regular messaging. It's about making sure that us as a team, let the people know who are out there running their own businesses that we are about should they need us.
Absolutely.
Well, my friend, that's been lovely to obviously have a conversation with you. But obviously, there's going to be people that maybe want to reach into you and that want to find out a bit more about how that you can help them with their content or their SEO or their writing or editing or e-commerce or all the things that you do. But there also might be a few people listening in who say, actually, I'm looking to fill a space in my organisation and I'd like to speak to Jeff. So how do these people listening in on this YouTube experience and our YouTube channel, and of course where it's being shared across the socials, get in touch with Jeff? How do they find you, Jeff?
Sure. So I am a less is more kind of guy. You'll never find me dropping links to 5 different social profiles. I don't even generally include my email or my phone. My LinkedIn profile, and here's the beauty of it, my LinkedIn page has all that stuff, has my phone number, has my email, etc. LinkedIn, I do believe, is kind of the top umbrella with regard to contact info. My specific URL, I can say it, I can type it, linkedin.com/in/Jeffrey J. Delwiche. Again, that's linkedin.com/in/Jeffrey J. Delwiche, the last name. Easy
Awesome.
enough.
Easy enough, my friend. And don't forget, for those listening in, the Jeffrey is double F in Jeffrey, not one single F. So if you are typing it in, listening to Jeff, give that URL for his own profile page. It's Jeffrey with a double F and then the J and then Delwiche, as you can see on the screen here. It's basically on the screen underneath on the bottom left hand corner of his picture here with whilst we're doing this interview. I've certainly enjoyed having a conversation with you, Jeff. It's always been great to have you around us, and I'd like to personally and openly thank you for all the support that you've shown to us and the ethics and the ethos that you've always brought to each meeting. And I love the fact that we're partners in order to help other small businesses, because that's what the Trusted Business Community Association is all about. And I'd like to openly, in public, express my thanks and gratitude for you being part of this association. For those listening in, don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. So it's obviously youtube.com/TTBCA, and that is, use the @ and then TTBCA, and then of course you'll find our page. Come in, listen to this, click on this video wherever you're seeing it, like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and you'll hear all of the other interviews that we've done. Not only that, but we've also had Jeff and others doing a keynote speech, which is also up there in the YouTube channel as well. So when we've held meetings, we've had some real great individuals, professionals in their industry sector giving out some great advice and guidance, and Jeff's been one of them, and they're all up on our YouTube channel. Have a listen into them, and obviously there's more to come. There's a lot more to come, so if you do like and subscribe, you'll catch all the ones that are coming up in the future as well. Thanks ever so much for listening in to this wonderful big interview moment with the Trusted Business Community Association with a fellow colleague of mine, Jeffrey Delwiche, our USA ambassador, and most importantly, one of the key guys to go to for your content marketing and anything to do with getting your message out. Jeff, thanks ever so much for being part of this today. Really appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Sean.
You're more than welcome, my friend.